How's it going, guys? Oddly Unorthodox back again with another Total War Warhammer 3 multiplayer game. Once again, we seem to be in a bit of a school for the school god mood, and I'm hoping this game makes up for the 4v4 earlier. While the 4v4 wasn't bad, I didn't perform to the best of my ability, and I wanted a redeeming video for Khorne. This time, bringing the Exalted Bloodthirster, 2 Skull Cannons. We've got 2 Chaos Warriors with halberds, 3 Chaos Warriors with just axe and shield, 2 Khorne Hounds, and the Regents of the renowned Khorne Berserkers. Now, an important thing to note is I obviously knew I was against the Wood Elves and Kislev, but Wood Elves more so. So because I was playing against the Wood Elves, and I am particularly, I do notice that people could use my own strategy against me. I always bring some Flesh Hounds of Khorne, because you really don't want these things catching you Weight Watchers. They will absolutely mince them in seconds. And like I said the other day, you can't leave home without them really. They normally make their value up in any army that you bring them in, so they're always in good contention. My Skull Cannons this game didn't seem to be blessed with the best accuracy, but then I did have them shooting through trees. So honestly, what do I expect? I should have moved them. Nice little particle image there. But I got the side of the Kislev, and I noticed at this point that there was heavy sleds, Warbear Riders and Constantine. So I decided to amass both of my Flesh Hounds together and my Exalted Bloodthirster to make my little sort of gooning squad. And then I decided to move up my men in a second. The idea behind this build is Wood Elves and Kislev both have access to some big targets, being Bear Riders, Heavy War Sleds, etc. So the halberds are always worthwhile. And then Chaos Warriors of Khorne literally just do the job of taking a beating and dishing out a beating. They block a little bit of missile play as well, and basically just buying time for the Brutes of the Hound to absolutely massacre the enemy. So you can see we have the triple squad here, and we decide to go in. We're going to take the fight on the Warbears. We tickle them a little bit, take off a little bit of damage, and then we back up. We send the Skull Cannons in because they weren't really pleasing me in the way they're shooting. I decided just to send them a melee and they can take the Streltsy fire while everything else walks up. That's what you call some dual purpose artillery, and we just send them in when everything else goes wrong. These sleds do exactly what I thought they might, and they try to kite round the back and charge through and disrupt the infantry to buy his guns some time. But luckily I've got halberds there, so yes, they can run through the halberds, but the halberds are going to tie them up. And now he's got the pressure of realising there's actually a lot of armoured units heading towards him. He's now got to deal with. So I push back up with the Khorne Hounds and the Exalted Bloodthirster, letting him know that he can't really pick and choose where he wants to fight. Because if he sends his Warbear Riders in, I'll go in now. And now he's realising that he's going to have to retreat them to deal with the Bloodthirster. So we get the first squad of Flesh Hounds of Khorne on the Armoured Cossars, and we slip the next one through onto the Streltsy to shut them down. And I have good faith that my Bloodthirster can take the Warbears in this state and castalt them together. So we keep pushing up. You know, we're in the fight here. Yes, we sacrificed our Skull Cannons, but we've breached his lines. And now his Streltsy are about to get ran into by the Brutes of the Hound. That's not going to be a very fun fight for them. The Khorne Hounds are chewing through the infantry here. I'll give them up Exalted Bloodthirster time to take out the Warbear Riders. And then we've got a squad of Chaos Warriors of Khorne and some halberds there. And the halberds are just there to get rid of the war sleds. And there we go. We'll tie the war sleds in with them, and the anti-large will really help to get rid of them. As you can see, the Streltsy are getting absolutely murdered by the Brutes of the Hound. Really underrated unit. As long as they don't get focus fired down, absolutely devastating in melee. You can see here that the Warbear Riders have bit off a bit more they can chew, and so's Constantine. Constantine? No idea how you pronounce his name. But you can see that he is not having that much of a good time. And he's brought some more armoured Cossars over, thinking that'll help him. But we're sacrificing a squad of flesh hounds to Khorne just to shut down some of the ranged fire. These brutes of the hound are right onto the next squad of Strelts. See these warriors of Khorne taking on the squad that's broken. And you can see that he is not having a good time in this fight. He is getting his bread absolutely buttered. And you can see that this is not a great spot for him to be in. We're not going to let him run away because obviously he does have access to healing and stuff like that. He can be quite annoying if you let him get away. He'll heal back up, heal his bear riders back up. So we want to hunt them down to the point of him dying, which we do there. And the Exalted Bloodthirster nearly at 3,000 value already. This is the sort of Khorne game I wanted to show you guys. A real Khorne smash. A proper bloodbath. I like to get only the most fun games for you to see. And I was a little bit disappointed by that 4v4 video. We'll leave it up for people that want to see. But it definitely did not please Khorne enough. As you can see, the Exalted Bloodthirster's got so much more to give. Punishing all these guys with his whip, blood spraying everywhere. The brutes of the hound are in there. You know, these guys have got their frenzy, their berserk. Really causing quite a bit of terror. We've won the fight over here. The Snow Leopard's just being taken down by the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. The Warbear Riders have been broken off by the Flesh Hounds. Made sure none of them survived, and these halberds are now pulling in just to finish up. But the brutes of the hound absolutely getting more skulls for Khorne than he could ever want. Look at all the bloodshed. Absolutely beautiful moment. Some good old Khorne Vikings. And then we can't forget about the big guy himself, who is now over 3,000 in value and still climbing. So we shall see what else he has to bring. We finish up here, and now I didn't know if my vampire count ally was winning this super hard or not, so I decided I would grab my forces and go straight back over there, just make sure we get these units to send off. And then what we do now is we pick off squads that are running with the Flesh Hounds, like these Streltsy down here, to make sure they don't survive. We'll run the Flesh Hounds down there in a second. We did lose one squad of Flesh Hounds, keeping some ranged busy, but as you can see here, we've broke them off, and now we're about ready to start making our move. And there you go, the command's given. Now he definitely could come back from this. As you can see, there is a lot of units returning, but there's nothing really big enough for me to worry about. The Khorne Hounds are shaking that squad off, and this is another good reason for Khorne units. Oh, let's slow down time, get back to where we are. I do get netted, sadly. He had a net saved. Very unfortunate. Didn't really want to get caught by the net, but at this point, you know, the Bloodthirst has definitely made his money's worth. We charge straight into the Glade Lord because he might as well die in a good old duel. No point keeping him back and keeping him alive, but look at that chunk of HP he deals to the Glade Lord. And then he soon realises that he doesn't actually want this fight with the Glade Lord, that the Glade Lord might actually lose this. So he retreats off and sends in his Life Caster. It's fine. We're bringing our army back over. The Flesh Hounds make sure those Ice Guard didn't come back, chasing off the important targets that we don't really want to get back. We do a little bit of damage to the Life Caster, but sadly I do try the tactic, I've mentioned this in a few of my videos, that if we could get the Life Caster to drop to the ground, but he didn't fall for it, we could try and trap him in the halberds, but alas we decided to let the old Bloodthirster go, swinging, taking some health off the Life Caster, and as you can see, 4,000 value. He has made his money in his fabulous death scene. And then we decided to go help out our Vampire Coast ally, who, in all fairness, has really handled himself and swept his side of the board. But I want more damage, and that's what we play Khorne for, because we want to smash more skulls. So the Hounds get straight in there to take out these Dryads. They're no longer Barbarians, they're now Lumberjacks. And we just go around making sure we break the rest of these, clear them off the Rotten Prometheans. The Hounds we run back because they do get caught by a bunch of squads shooting at them, so we manage to salvage them, bring them back with the rest of the army. At this point the game is won. You know, he's out of ammunition on that guy. These 3 squads have still got ammo, but there's still a Count Noctilus at full HP. The Gallows Giant still at 6,800 HP. And there's a lot of squads of armoured Chaos Warriors that have yet to be dealt with. So this is a little bit of posturing, so I will speed up because I don't like to keep you guys here all day. We now use the Fleshhounds of Khorne, and this is something I really want to show to you guys. Is the good thing about Fleshhounds of Khorne, you know, they're 95 speed, good melee attack, and they're perfect for chasing down squads that you want to break off the map, that you want to make sure don't come back. They are more expensive than normal dogs. But in my opinion, well worth it. One of the most underrated units on Khorne roster. So we break through these guys here because we want to get rid of the Deepwood Scouts. Don't really want to be shot in the back. And then the Glade Lord takes another heal from his Life Caster. We have to be careful in case there is a Dwellers. So we don't want to bunch up too much. Glade Lord being flamethrowered in the back. And then we send the old Barbarians, the Brutes of the Hound, I will remember their name, after the Deepwood Scouts, because they're really the only thing that has a chance of catching them. Deepwood Scouts are quite fast, Khorne Warriors aren't. To be fair, the Rotten Prometheans could have caught them. 2 more speed, 3 more than the Brutes of the Hound. And then we bring the rest of our army back. We send these Chaos Warriors of Halberds in just to try and break off the Streltsy. I know the Chaos Warriors are probably going to die, but we send them in just to try and finish off breaking off the Streltsy. Because I still don't want 27, 16. There's still quite a lot of rifles to be firing. Granted, I don't think there's any way they win this. Even if my army suddenly just disappeared, there's quite a bit of the Vampire Coast army still left, which is going to be quite a nuisance for him. As you can see here, the Halberds get in, break off the Streltsy. We get the Fleshhounds in there as well, shatter those 3 squads. Sadly, the Fleshhounds die, but we did get the thing of shattering those 3 squads off. And now it comes pretty much to an end. You know, we're playing the wicked chase with the Brutes of the Hand, and I'm pulling all the armour back just to deal with these, shatter these off. But you can see as soon as they break, you know, we get to the Deepwood Scouts, we break them off. They get chopped up into little pieces, and then the leadership starts to tank. Him not realising sends his Glade Lord into combat with the Brutes, but obviously the Brutes are unbreakable. They've got their Frenzy, their Berserk, got the Horn of Khorne on them. They hit a lot harder than what I believe they realised they would. And then you can see here he decides actually it's not a great fight. And leadership breaks with army losses. Let's have a look at some of the values. I will tell you straight away the Skull Cannons are not going to have made that much value. Their shooting wasn't great and I ran them into die. But they did the job. Hounds of Khorne, well, the Brutes of the Hounds, sorry. 1985, a good value on those guys. 1280 on the Halberds, I'll take that. 800 on these guys, again not bad. 900, 950, 600, good on the Chaos Warriors. 700 on those Hounds, they just about made what they cost. These guys covered both of them, so more than happy with that squad. He whacked out a total of 4,060 damage, an insane showing by Exalted Bloodthirster. Quite a well-rounded Khorne army, one of the better ones I've shown. If you want to make this a bit more try-hard, maybe drop the Skull Cannons and you can bring other stuff instead. Maybe a squad of Monitors with great weapons would have been quite powerful. And then maybe some more Chaos Warriors, maybe a dual-wield Chaos Warriors. Completely up to you. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, guys, if you've enjoyed this. And I'll catch you on the next one. This has been Oddly Unorthodox.